Hey there, it's Jenny, and I am back today to share with you how I am planning for next week in my daily Hemlock and Oak planner. I am now 2 solid weeks in, and wow, is all I can say. I am thrilled with how this is working out. It is meeting all of my expectations. I am going to use this Everyday Explorers Day by Day stamp set to add the days of the week to this planner. And I'm going to be using this Sage ink pad from Close to My Heart as my primary accent color for the week. The idea for both of my Hemlock and Oak planners is for them to be crazy functional. So yes, I want them to look good, like I'm not just scribbling in them, but I want them to be functional. I want the whole premise to be function. So I'm not adding a ton of decoration. I'm not adding a ton of stickers or anything like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I might add stickers as I go, like instead of stamps, but they will be functional by and large, unless something changes, of course. But at this point, I want there to be pure function. I want to be notating all of the things. It helps me get stuff done, but that it also helps me in my memory keeping as well. I'm going to use a solid circle stamp from Studio Calico as the background for the little section that highlights my work to-dos. Now, here is a perfect example of just not really quite thinking this through. I know stamping on the left side is hard. I know that I should be doing something to work a little harder at that, but I still just didn't do it. So instead, I pull out my watercolor brush, also not a great choice, and color in that circle that I messed up. It did bleed through a little bit. However, when it's all dried, it's not as bad as it initially appeared, and so it's all good. Like it really ended up okay, and I'm pretty pleased about that. So anyway, stamping that green circle on both sides and then taking this stamp from the Everyday Explorer stamp set. It is called Currently Seals. Genuinely one of my favorite stamp sets. I'm using it all the time right now. Like it just is working so well. I'll stamp the same over on the left-hand side once that little section dries, the little watercolor, but for now I'm going to skip ahead. I'm stamping the little icons at the bottom for my meal planning. I'm just writing out what's for dinner those nights. Again, if you're curious about that, I'm not married to what I write there. It's just, it gives me an idea for a, like, okay, I bought things for and think that this is a good idea based on our activities, if that makes sense. Now you saw I also added the roller date stamp dates at the top. This is also such a great tool. It's really just helping me be really on top of things, but with such simplicity. Now I'm going to use this Catherine Pooler stamp set. I'll link you up below. It is adding the activities so well. I'm not using this one for things where I have more information to include. I'll use a different stamp for that. But for the standard like practice, game, work, those types of things where I only need to jot down a couple of things, this stamp is chef's kiss. It is perfect. It's enough room and it's super cute too. I also happen to love how this particular one in the stamp set is really bold and standing out. Like it's really definitely making me take notice, that's for sure. Now I'm pulling out some super old icons. I mean like 4 or 5 years old, if not like 6. I mean so old, to put little cute icons in the ends of the boxes right there. There are still icons out there you can find. In fact, this Catherine Pooler stamp set came with some icons. You can use those to just really help functionally add a little bit of cuteness to your layouts, if that makes sense. So now the last thing to complete the layout is using this little notes stamp. I then actually ended up really loving this up there. It covers up in aspirations or inspiration, something like that. I think it says intentions. That's what it is. I don't need that. It's not something that's sort of my to-do list really. But the notes helps me jot down things. So for example, my son goes golfing, my husband plays pickleball, my happy mail, cleaning day, things like that, that like I want to remember it happened this day, but it doesn't really have a specific place in my schedule or in my to-do list. It goes in this notes section. I love it. It's working perfectly for me. And that's the point that I want to make here, is that your planner needs to work for you. These are some things that are working for me: having my schedule, having my notes, having my to-dos, and my meal planning. Those are the things that make a planner successful for me. So you can see right there the roller date stamp again. I mean, you can get one of these for like $6 on Amazon. I will see if I can link this one that I'm using up below, but it's just such a valuable tool. Buy yourself that and a VersaFine ink pad, and you can date all of the things from now until the end of the roller date stamp. So you can see over there on the left-hand side, I had a little bit more success than I did on Monday with the stamping right there. But, I did actually pay attention and put an ink pad behind there so I had some stability and a flat surface. But it's all good. One of these days, I'm going to learn or pay enough attention to take care of these things. But you know what? In the end, I'm here to tell you this is all finished and done as I'm doing this voiceover, and it really genuinely turned out okay. So not worried at all. Now we'll add the meal planning as well down at the bottom. I'm having a lot of fun pulling out my old stamps as well and finding things that will work in some of these applications, like the meal planning. I haven't used the same one twice yet, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's a lot of fun to use my supplies. I don't know about how many of you have years worth of supplies in your stash, but I do. And so using them just makes me feel really happy. Now, I will say that for the meal planning, I do use it mostly for meals that I cook, but I would like to also begin to make a note of restaurants that we go to as well, or get takeout from as well. I just somehow don't seem to remember to include that, but I'm going to try because I would really like to do that. Now, for these boxes, I am putting them where roughly in the area of the time that they're occurring. I'm not using the hourly planner I'm not living or dying by that, because really these are rough. I'm not planning things out to the minute or to the hour. I'm just simply reminding myself. And so having them in the general vicinity of the hour works great for me. Isn't that big notebook sheet cute? It is another Everyday Explorers stamp set. It's currently out of stock, but it will be back. It's called A Quick Note, and it is just perfect. It has so many wonderful things that really work well for memory keeping, but then also in my planner too. All right, so now let's get that Friday up there because we're getting to the best part of the week. So I've put Friday up there, and then here comes the little circle so that I can add that stamp that says currently working on, but not before I add my little meal planning for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now I do split a page into two for Saturday and Sunday because I don't need a full page for the weekend, as I don't put any to-dos for the most part in this planner, but I still like to keep track of things that are going on, so that's why I split it up. See, look at that. Look how cute that currently working on looks right there with that big circle. I love it. All right, so now for Saturday and Sunday, I do take my correction tape and cover up all of the things at the top. So the little header for the date, intentions, focus, schedule, tasks, all of it. I cover it all up because I don't need any of it. I really just need Saturday, Sunday, and that's genuinely it. It's all sort of like a running list. So I'll add the dates to the Friday, and then on the Saturday and Sunday page, I still need to go ahead and add the actual Saturday and Sunday. So I'll use this Close to My Heart Sage ink for that. This color is just so pretty. Again, I don't know that I would have, like 6 months ago, thought, oh yeah, I'm going to use sage green in my planner. I probably would have absolutely not thought that. But just like the world is shifting in what's hot for colors, so are what I want to use. So here we are. All right, now it does take a minute. I have to flip back to see what's worked in weeks past, but I'm going to just go ahead and use the roller date stamp and stamp right on top of that. Now that's the thing, because I'm still fairly new, only a couple of weeks in, I do need to refer back to what's working. Like, it's, see right there, I was able to go back. It's Monday, it's fine, it all turned out great. See what I was talking about? And I promise on the back, it's like a minor smudge. It's fabulous. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Because I'm only a couple of weeks into this planner, it is necessary for me to flip back and see what's been working so far. Unless, of course, I had some brand new idea to see what I wanted to do. Otherwise, that I would try that as well. Now, to tell you, as I'm writing through here, a couple of the things that I'm really loving about this Hemlock and Oak planner. One is the paper. The paper is amazing. I want to say it's a 120 GSM. It's beautiful, and it's a nice white color. There's no gray, there's no cream. Not that there's anything wrong with gray or cream paper. I just really wanted a bright white paper, and this has that. The other part that I like is that the grid and the headers are in a nice medium to light shade of gray. It's dark enough that you can absolutely see it, but it's not so dark that it's overpowering, and things like the stamping get sort of lost or muddled because the text on the page is too dark. I also really love the setup. So on a Monday through Friday where I'm using it in its full capacity, I like that there's a part for a focus. I like that there's a part for the schedule and the date and tasks. Those are the things that I need in a planner, and so it's one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this so very much. So now I'm just going to write these things in, and that's it for me. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.